War was imminent. Nawab's soldiers met the company's army led by Robert Clive on the battlefield of Plassey, a place about 30 kilometers from Murshidabad on 23rd June 1757. This battle came to be known as Battle of Plassey. The battle was almost one-sided as within a few hours Nawab's army was defeated. Nawab's army was defeated. The English only lost 29 men, whereas the Nawab lost nearly 500 soldiers. What was the main reason of the defeat? The main reason of the defeat was the betrayal of Mir Jafar. Mir Jafar was the commander in chief of Sirajudollah. He betrayed by not participating in the battle. He was lured by Clive by the promise of making him Nawab after the defeat of Siraj. Robert Clive had told Mir Jafar that if he would help Lord Clive, he will be given a lavish amount of money, prestigious position, and joy for life after the defeat of Sirajudara, and he will be made the Nawab also. Events after the Battle of Plassey, Sirajudollah assassinated and Mir Jafar was made. Company was interested more in trade, not in taking over the administration. So company found it difficult to work with puppet Nawab also. The company was not willing to take over the administration of Bengal directly, as the main aim was to increase the volume of the trade. So it would be better if this could be accomplished without any involvement in administration with the help of a puppet ruler. So Mir Jafar was declared as the Nawab of Bengal. Soon Mir Jafar discovered that the company officials were becoming greedy, and in meeting the demands of the officials, the treasury of the Nawab was becoming empty. So he realized that he could not be a puppet ruler. At times, he protested for his subjects, for his demands. He protested against the constant demands of company officials. Company discovered that the Nawab was not now as helpful as they thought. After company deposed him and installed Mir Jafar, son-in-law, in his place. So they deposed Mir Jafar and installed Mir Qasim, the son-in-law, as the Nawab in his place. So he made some changes, like we can say that strengthening his army, abolishing duties also, and this was he was. Then after a time period, Mir Qasim also complained against the company officials. So this led to the Battle of Buxar. The company adopted a very rigid attitude. The Nawab challenged the company and a war broke out between them in 1763. The Nawab was defeated and he fled to Awadh. And Mir Qasim formed an alliance with Nawab of Awadh and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II of Delhi. The combined armies of like 40,000, 60,000 faced the British army of only 7,000 soldiers at Buxar. Still, it was a very uneven, balanced fight, and yet the British won the war on 22nd October 1764. This war is called the Battle of Buxar. With this victory, the British power in India became unchallengeable. What happened after Battle of Buxar? After the reinstallation of Mir Jafar as Nawab of Bengal, he was forced to pay rupees 5 lakh every month to the company. After the company reinstalled Mir Jafar, and the Nawab agreed to pay a monthly rupees 5 lakh to the company, but the company wanted more finance. By the time Mir Jafar died in 1765, the company had made up their mind to seize the power in Bengal, and they also secure the Diwani rights. That is, Diwani rights means the right to collect revenue from the provinces of Bengal, Bihar, and Odisha from the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II, and now company became the Diwan of Bengal. Robert Clive was made the governor of Bengal for the second time in May 1765. Mir Jafar was made the Nawab of Bengal, but the Nawabs were now mere only a figureheads. Figureheads means a person in a high position but without any real authority. They were not having any powers. They were only the nawabs. The real power was vested in the hands of company. By the time Mir Jafar died in 1765, the mood of the company changed. Now, no more puppet Nawabs. Then Robert Clive declared, we must indeed become Nawabs ourselves. After acquiring Diwani rights, company used the vast resource of Bengal. Diwani of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha gave the company the right to collect revenue from this rich region. So this development changed the entire scenario. This created the huge loss of revenue. Previously, the British would pay for the goods bought in India for the European markets by paying in gold and silver that was imported from Britain. After acquiring the Diwani rights, the company used the revenue collected from Bengal, Bihar, and Odisha to finance their trade and other expenses in India. The company enjoyed financial and control over region without having any administrative responsibilities, while the Nawab had to run the administration without having any control over the finance. So the victory at Plassey gave to the company a firm footing in Bengal. It was the victory at Buxar and resultant granting of the Diwani right to them made them the master of Bengal. Subsidiary alliance. Richard Wellesley was the person who institutionalized the policy of subsidiary alliance. According to the terms of this alliance, Indian rulers were not allowed to have their independent armed forces. According to this alliance, the company permanently stationed troops in the ruler's state for giving protection to the state and ruler from his or her enemies. Ruler had to pay for the subsidiary forces. They were protected by the company. The cost of maintaining the British troops had to be borne by the Indian rulers signing the treaty. If the Indian ruler failed to make any payment, then part of the territory was taken as penalty. Like if the ruler failed to pay for the British troops, then a part of his territory would be taken over by the British as compensation. Then they also had to consult the British resident in the states on all important administrative and political matters. Rulers signing this treaty were also not allowed to employ any independent or non British troops. So, important states which signed this subsidiary alliance include Hyderabad, Awadh, Mysore, Marathas, and Rajputs. The example is Nawab of Awadh was forced to give over half of his territory to the company in 1801. Wars with Marathas. Marathas were not defeated in the single war. Company subdued Marathas in a series of war. Marathas were considered as a rising power under the leadership of Bajirao Peshwa I. Under the leadership of Shivaji, they had successfully fought the Mughals, and after the death of Aurangzeb, Peshwas became the strongest power. But the defeat in Third Battle of Panipat in 1761 against the Afghan leader Ahmad Shah Abdali weakened the rising Maratha power. So the Peshwas could not tolerate the interference of the British, and Marathas fought a series of wars with the British known as the Anglo-Maratha Wars. The first Anglo-Maratha War was fought between 1775 to 1782, that was fought under the leadership of Nana Fadnis over the succession of Peshwa Madhav Rao and ended in 1782 with the Treaty of Salbai. There was no clear victory. Madhav Rao was accepted as the Peshwa by the British. Then comes to the second Anglo-Maratha War. This was fought between 1803 to 1805. This was fought in this war. Britishers won. Britishers gained control over Odisha, including Agra and Delhi. Third Anglo-Maratha War. At the end of Third Maratha War, It was fought between 1817 to 1819. At the end of this war, the English defeated the Peshwa and forced him to surrender to Lord Hastings, the Governor General of India. Peshwaship was abolished and subsidiary alliance was imposed on the Maratha kingdom. The company now took complete control of the area south of the Vindhyas. Anglo-Mysore War. Mysore controlled the profitable trade of Malabar coast. Mysore had grown in strength under the leadership of powerful rulers like Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan. Hyder Ali ruled from 1761 to 82 and Tipu Sultan ruled from 1782 to 99. Mysore controlled the profitable trade of the Malabar coast where the company purchased pepper and cardamom. But in 1785, Tipu Sultan stopped the export of sandalwood, pepper, and cardamom through the part of his kingdom and disallowed local merchants from trading with the company. Stopped the local merchants to trade with the company. Tipu Sultan had also established a close relationship with the French in India and modernized his army with their help. So this led to the conflict between Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan with the company. Company saw Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan as ambitious, arrogant, and dangerous rulers and had to be controlled and crushed. Four wars were fought with Mysore, 1769 to 1769, 1767 to 69. First Anglo-Mysore War uh, was fought, which ended with his victory and an agreement between them. Then Second Anglo-Mysore War was fought between 1780 to 84, and in this Second Anglo-Mysore War died in between the war, leaving his son Tipu Sultan to deal with the British. In 1790-92, Third Anglo-Mysore War was fought, and in fourth Anglo-Mysore War was fought between in 1799. In this fourth war, in the last war, Tipu's Battle of Seringapatam, the company ultimately got a victory. Tipu Sultan was killed defending his capital Seringapatam. Mysore was placed under the former ruling dynasty of Wadiyas and subsidiary alliance was imposed on the state. Company ultimately win a victory in this battle.